What's up everyone, Kita Sean here. So interlude number 9 has released. I was actually joking around with a friend not too long ago saying that they're going to release interlude number 9. Man, I can see it coming because Lost Belt's coming out pretty soon and they're not going to make us do nothing. So interlude number 9 coming out right now, and a couple hours later interlude number 9 came out, so that really surprised me. But again, I was just joking around, but again, that surprised me. Woozy 10 was actually the only servant that I got right, because I gave a friend a list saying that, hey, these servants are going to get buffed in interlude number 9, and Woozy 10 was the only one that I got right. But really surprised that MHX Alter got a buff. Like, she's already really strong from her last buff, but this makes her so much better. Raikou, really happy that she got a buff, even though she technically doesn't really need it, but she got a buff and it's really good. Osaka Behime, Arthur got buffs that they definitely deserve. As for Emiya Alter and Oldie Shuen, unfortunately they did not get buffs, but I mean, Oldie Shuen, it makes sense. Emiya Alter kind of surprises me, like, he definitely needs some buffs. But anyways, let's go ahead and scroll down and check out what the buffs are. So the first servant that we're going to start off with is Prototype Arthur. Arthur Pendragon Prototype Saber. Pretty good buff. Second skill gains the effect of 30 to 50% critical damage for 3 turns. Definitely a really good one for him. Now, I'm actually really looking forward to his interlude more than anything, because maybe we might get hints to other prototype servants in the future. I mean, Gilgamesh Prototype, that'd be really cool, right? But Prototype, the CD drama ended not too long ago, so again, I'm hoping for a Prototype collab sometime in the near future, and I'm hoping that this interlude gives us some kind of hint towards that. But really happy that he got a buff, definitely deserves it, and hoping to see he gets more buffs in the future as well, because this is definitely a buff that doesn't really put him on the top of the list, but it basically starts him off. So really happy that he got this buff. So Osaka Behime gets a buff, and I personally really like it. 30 to 50% critical damage up for 3 turns to the party for the first skill. Helps out a lot, especially in crit teams, quick teams, assassins. Yeah, this is a really good buff in my opinion. Now, it's not one of those buffs that's gonna like put her onto the top, but it's definitely a good start for her. I mean, she got a buff before, really good. She got this buff, I mean, it makes her even better. I've been using her a lot recently in my teams because I think she's just so much fun to use. Plus, not only that, she's one of my favorite servants, and her MP is just always a treat to watch. But she kind of reminds me of Shahrazad a little bit, because I mean, remember Shahrazad came out for the first time, she was horrible, and Osaka Behime at the same time, you know, she came out, she was horrible. But they've been getting buffs every now and then, and obviously Shahrazad became one of those better casters in the game, so I can definitely see that happening to Osaka Behime. And yeah, I'm really happy that she got this buff, and I hope to see more buffs in the future as well. Now, Oldie Shuen, I mean, no one expected him to get a buff anytime soon. I mean, he released earlier this year, so yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he does not get a buff. But really happy to see a new interlude. I mean, we get to see more background on him. I unfortunately don't have him, so obviously this is, you know, nothing to me. But his rate up is up as well, and he's getting 2 new sprites, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, really happy about that, and maybe I might roll for him. Who knows? We'll see. I mean, Lost Belt Chapter 4 is coming out, so I don't think I will. But yeah, pretty happy that he got a new interlude, and pretty happy that he got some new sprites as well, which again we'll talk about in a bit. Now, this servant really surprised me. I didn't think she needed a buff. She's already really good from her previous buff, and plus, not only that, Scotty was a huge buff for her as well. But this adds on to her strengths, and again, it's really crazy. So first skill adds the effect of getting 1000 HP recovery per turn for 3 turns. This helps her a lot, especially because she's a berserker. 20 to 30% critical damage up 1 time for 3 turns for quick arts and buster cards. So yeah, again, this helps out a lot for her. Like, it makes her even better, and I don't know what to say. Like, it's crazy that they buffed her so much. So don't expect any more buffs for Heroine X Alter anytime soon. Like, there's no way she needs any more buffs. Next is going to be Mama Raikou. Mama Raikou, really happy she got a buff, and it's a really good buff as well. I mean, she's already really strong in my opinion, but a lot of people really wanted her to get a buff, and she did. So Raikou's first skill gets 40 to 60% critical damage up for 3 times for 3 turns. really strong. Really happy to see that, and yeah, really happy that she gets a lot of love now. Her interlude, I'm really excited to see. A bunch of Raita designed servants are there, so I'm actually really excited to see what kind of story is there for the interlude. But really happy that she got a really strong buff. Emiya Alter, obviously no buff for him. Really sad. He definitely deserves it. Kind of confused why he didn't get one, but I mean, really excited to watch his interlude, so yeah. And then Woozy Tan, MP buff, definitely needs more buffs, but this is obviously a really good start for her. Her MP obviously does more damage now, and it gets buff removal, so really good in my opinion. I think now her skills need some buffs, and she's going to be a servant that we'll probably be using every now and then, but as of right now, I don't think this puts her on the list where, hey, I'm going to use Woozy 10 all the time now. But again, it's definitely a good step forward towards the top of the list, and yeah, really hoping to see more buffs for her in the near future. So next we're going to be talking about Oldie Shuen's 2 new sprites. Obviously he just gets rid of his sunglasses. It's not that great of a sprite, but I guess if you want to see his eyes, I mean, it's nice. But I personally don't have Oldie Shuen right now, so this doesn't really concern me. But maybe in the future, if I do get him, and maybe I'll do this. But I personally like his sunglasses on, so I probably won't buy these. But he does have a rate up right now, so if you want to roll for him, roll for him. If you want to roll for Osaka Behime, you can roll for her as well. Prototype Arthur and Raikou don't have any rate ups right now, which is kind of surprising, but at the same time not really. I mean, they're limited servants, and not only that, Lost Belt Chapter 4 is coming out. So personally, I think you shouldn't roll this, but if you really need an assassin, yeah, go ahead and roll for it. And if you just really want Emiya Alter or any of these servants, I mean, yeah, I'm not stopping you, but I personally think you should wait, because again, Lost Belt Chapter 4 is coming out pretty soon. We're gonna get a bunch of new servants, so I would just hold off. But for sure, if you have any of these servants, go ahead and do the interludes and buff them up, and they're gonna be really good. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, comment down below and tell me which buff you guys like the most, and I will see you guys later.